One of our family's favourite films is Mary Poppins, and today's episode is inspired by my favourite song from this movie, A Spoonful of Sugar. You know the one, the nanny is trying to encourage the children to tidy up the nursery by making it less of a bore, turning it into a game while singing, while she later manages then to get them to take their medicine by equally magically turning their medicine into something that tastes good. The song, which is written by the incredible Sherman brothers, who wrote a lot of the Disney tunes at that time, was inspired by one of their children telling them all about their polio vaccine they'd received at school. Instead of being delivered as the dreaded injection, they got it as a sugar lump on a spoon, which was far more appealing. The story of the song raises an interesting problem that we regularly face in general practice, and that is how can we help our patients take the medicine they need for their health, while it's often rather unpleasant or difficult to take. As a GP, I often have to think about the form of medicine I give, and it's not just for the children that I treat that can be a problem. Some people, for medical reasons, are unable to swallow any solids at all, let alone tablets. All of us have to learn how to swallow in our childhood, and when you think about the act of swallowing, it's a fascinating and coordinated movement of a large number of muscles, both of the mouth, the tongue, and the throat. They coordinate together to produce a swallowable ball of food or a bolus, which they have to then move to the back of the mouth and then swallow. We perform this effortlessly for years until sadly something like a stroke robs us of this basic power. As we're learning to eat solids, we also learn to detect things that we shouldn't be swallowing in our mouths, such as bits of bone, hair, or other hard items that have found their way in there that shouldn't have done. So our mouths are primed to feel for things that really shouldn't be swallowed. Pills really don't feel like something to us that should be swallowed, and so in order to get over that, we need to relearn how to swallow with a tablet. This is often something that takes place in our older childhood, and a good many people persist in struggling with pills well into adulthood. This is again something I'm going to say, people need to learn the skill of being able to swallow tablets. There are a number of tips that we can give you to learn how to swallow tablets, which we'll touch on later, but for the moment, let's start thinking about the alternatives to tablets, which we often use for children or adults who are